Peace to the family. This is the Hood Mystic representing www.hoodmystic.com. We back for another daily energy reading. Today we'll be discussing Mercury and its as its station direct inside real Aquarius and everything that we've been talking about as Mercury station retrograde and as we made the process since February 17th up until now. I know February 17th till now seems like 4 or 5 years ago. However, we've been kind of paying attention to it. So since we've been paying attention to it, we'll be able to kind of discuss where we've been and where we're going. So peace to the family, peace to the chat. Just want to say thank you for everybody tuning in. Shout out to Raj Shaman, Dreamwise, Karma the Goddess, Honcho was good, my G, GC360, Jazz, Kindred Spirit, One Miss Loving Life, Waller the Great, my homie Ra, Kim B, One Miss Loving Life, Justina, Soel Ma, Kazari. You understand? Peace to everybody in the chat. Peace to everybody watching this post live. Yeah, so what we're trying to do is establish a spiritual conversation where there is none and have the daily conversation in the realms of spirituality, in the realms of soul work, in the realms of quantum mechanics and things of that nature. So when I study astrology, I tend to study it as a form of quantum mechanics. So when we reference the stars, we're also referencing ourselves in the space of as above, so below. So when Mercury transits, it has these particular retrogrades, whether it's retrograde zone, shadow zone, station and directs. These have a direct influence over how we view the life if we're able to pay attention to the astrology and the correspondence associated with it. So be sure to check out the article on www.hoodmystic.com for the full transcript of this actual broadcast. So like I said earlier, we're going to sit and we're going to focus in on Mercury, mainly because Mercury is unaspected and is stationed in direct. And we're coming off of full moon energy. And this is like a really kickstart to the lunar year. This is like a real kickstart to 2020. Even though we're not fully in the bask of the 2020 energy, we're starting to see the movement move forward. So in retrospect, no pun intended, February 17th, Mercury station retrograde. And so at this particular time, I started talking about quantum and electromagnetic energy and choosing your vibration and things of that nature. So one had a choice, one had an actual ability to either hold on to particular life or let go of particular things and begin to create at a particular soul or cellular or quantum level. Now, this was 3 weeks ago. There's been a lot of changes over these past 3 weeks. So how are you feeling about these changes? How are you ready to move forward with these changes? How are you ready to deal with the positive energy in a space where you're able to get rid of all of the negative energy by using your imagination? So this is Mercury in Aquarius. There are no real rules in Aquarius. And Mercury, it don't like rules either. So having this retrograde in a sense is, to me, is like hammering home a point. Usually the planets just kind of pass through the constellations, but when you have a retrograde, it would seem as though the planet is going to stay in Aquarius for a longer time than it would normally usually stay in there. So if I'm going to stay here for a longer time, that means that there's more things that I need to talk about. There's something more important in this Aquarian energy that you have to really focus in. And when I do my study, I deeply connect Aquarius to our electromagnetic field. Inside of all of us, there's electricity that is happening. Even so, there was a weird thing that happened yesterday when you are like in this tantric vibe and doing these tantric meditations. My wife, she began to vibrate at a high level, so much so that I could feel her electricity coming off of her body, and she was shocking me because her energy was so high, you know. And so it was just like an amazing thing to kind of deal with this energy in real time, because I'm realizing that within us we are like electrical beings. And to awaken that electrical being through the modality of the orgasm and the consistency of the orgasm, it builds up the energy so much so that the electricity is palpable. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, in the future if my wife just started lighting up like a goddamn Christmas tree. And I'm not even laughing. I'm not even like playing. The electricity is palpable because Mercury has been in the electrical realm of Aquarius for a while now. And it's not about to leave, it's about to go through another transit through Aquarius. So are you holding on to the reality that everything is mental, everything is based upon effort, everything is like hard, grind, hustle? Or have you let go and let God, as they say in the church? Have you tapped into your electromagnetic frequency? Now, you don't absolutely need a partner to tap into this electromagnetic frequency. It helps, but it might even be a disservice to you if you having sexual relationships and you're not even reaching orgasm. So you might have to tap into this electromagnetic energy by yourself, men or women. But overall, understand that this energy is sexual energy, and this sexual energy can be cultivated, built up, raised, and lead to manifestations. I wouldn't talk about it if I wasn't actually experiencing and going through it as well. So when it gets to confusion, like, okay, I get everything you're saying, Hood Mystic, but how do I raise my energy? How do I raise my energy, Hood Mystic, for real? Like, seriously, I hear what you're saying. How do you raise your energy? I make love to my wife. I don't make love to my wife like in short bursts, like, you know, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It's the conscience. It's like I'm going like to work on a project. I'm figuring shit out. I'm working things out. And then I'm building up the energy, because that energy becomes palpable. That energy becomes things that we manifest with, and we alter in the dream world, and ultimately we alter it in the waking world. It's a part of life, especially when you're outside the spot where you're having sex for children and you're not really having sex for pleasure. You start to have sex for manifestation. Aquarius rules the heart. Even more so if you go into the mythology of Uranus, which rules over Aquarius, it is said that Uranus got his testicles cut off by Saturn. So the analogy is then our sexual energy, if we're not aware of this Aquarius energy, is that we are somewhat neutered. We don't understand sex. We think it's pleasurable. We think it's to have babies, but we don't rise it up to our heart. We don't raise it up to our pineal gland and have true peace and true enlightenment. Because when it's all said and done, when you show in the world, I'm this person, I'm that person, and you go home at night, you want somebody to raise your energy. No matter how it comes or who it is, you want somebody to raise your energy. So I guess as Mercury transits direct and this electrical energy raises up, a good analogy of explaining it would be a firefly. Because within a firefly is a light, and that light is electrical, but it is within them. However, the light only comes on when it's time to have sex. If it wasn't for sex, the firefly wouldn't even light up the sky. It's a mating call, and it has to be precise. So in being precise, you building up your energy towards your goal, then your goal becomes something that's in self-realization. And the reason why you don't agree with me is because you never done it. You never focused on a sigil and intention and put sexual energy towards it and just let it manifest over time. Because if you have done that, you would be agreeing with me. It's either or. So what we're dealing with is the rising of this energy, moving forward with this energy. And because of this, there is a cycle that's happening. And I was watching Understanding or Seven Bomar, and he has a video, something related to Mamos. And the meditation that I did yesterday, and if you watch his video and listen to my meditation, you would swear that one of us was copying off of what, like one of us had to copy off of one another. And I know he didn't see my video, and I know I didn't see his video till after the fact of my video, but it was like we were saying the same exact things, almost word for word, almost verbatim, in reference to how there is a coronavirus, but there's also a corona of spirituality. And if the virus is a pandemic, well, then the spiritual side is a goddamn mass spiritual awakening. And when we reference spiritual awakening, we're not referencing hardship. We're not referencing hitting our head against the wall. We're referencing the best that life has to offer. So when Mercury Stations Direct, that cycle of fear, that coronavirus thing, and if you bought into it, that's the luck that you'll begin to move forward in. Okay, now you got little bumps on your goddamn arm all of a sudden because you've been reading on coronavirus, studying coronavirus, but didn't check my video out. And not to toot my own horn, but the damn thing was created in a lab in 2006 by the Chiron Corporation. So how's you gonna be afraid of something that was created in a lab? So if you double down on this fear, you manifest this fear. However, if you realize that the fear is what they trying to do, and the thing is that you got to create your new world, then you begin to bask in that energy. You begin to move forward in that energy. I'm not gonna lead you the wrong way. I'm not gonna say, oh, plan out your life. Find your movie, live your movie, and then you be like, oh, I've been living out my movie and things not manifesting or working out in my favor. The only thing is I haven't been living out my movie. I've been living somebody else's movie, and I don't know how to do what you're saying to do. That's the only thing. And another thing about light isn't good, light isn't bad. Light is good if you are trying to find your way in darkness and the light appears. That's good. But if you a low level, dirty, rotten scoundrel, the darkness is how you fucking survive. The darkness is how you feed. So when the light shows up, you now get to see these dirty, rotten scoundrels, and you better act accordingly. I'm so tired of people holding on to low down, dirty, rotten scoundrels. And maybe they don't know, maybe they don't see, but when they absolutely see, as Mercury goes through this electromagnetic energy of Aquarius, be sure to act accordingly. Don't be surprised. Because if you reference light to be just something positive, you don't understand light. Light is, if I just cut on a light, that's not good or bad. It just allows me to see. And generally, if you ever grew up in the hood, when you cut on the light, you see the roaches. And the roaches begin to scatter, okay? People don't expect you to awaken to yourself. People don't expect you to say, you know what, you're not my master, I'm my master. You know what, fuck you. I'm changing my way of thinking. I'm changing my way of being. I'm going to start honoring myself and doing the things that I want to do. They'll start scattering like roaches because it's not about love, it's about jealousy. See, jealousy will allow a person to get really, really close to you and want to get to know you. And where you think is love, it'd be a lot of times jealousy. So be aware of that. This is not a fucking kumbaya moment. This is not a kumbaya moment because you had to be goddamn psychotic, psychopathic to tap into your imagination. And most people didn't do that. Most people fed into the fear. So when we reference Mercury Station Direct, a lot of people are going to be awakened to, oh shit, I've been fucking with my ex for the past 3 weeks. What the fuck was I doing? What in the hell was on my mind? He still ain't shit. She's still scamming. She done stole some shit from me again. And I thought it was love this time. So that's more of that light coming on and you beginning to move forward. So hopefully you choosing your movie, right? Hopefully you are in a space of control. Hopefully you are in a space of wealth. Hopefully you're in a space of resources. So when Mercury Stations Direct, you'll be able to move forth with that energy. But imagine if I filled up on fear gas. Not that gas that you be smoking from Tito and them around the corner. That fear gas that you get from CNN, Fox News, so forth and etc. YouTube conspiracy theory channels and so forth and etc. Right? What if I've been feeding on that? The only way that I know how to move forward is with that gasoline. So even if we are trying to move in a positive direction, even if we have the deepest intentions, if we don't understand that it is the love principle that dictates our reality, then we'll be confused. I'll give you an example because the 11th house is the house of social standings. It's the house of relationships. However, men hate women. However, women hate men. However, these people want to be in relationships with each other, but a person might feel a certain type of way towards men and never realize it's not quote unquote men, it's the men that I know. It's not quote unquote women, it's the women that I know. So if you don't understand that your proverbial way of a relationship is going to dictate or attract to you the relationship that you want, i.e., I love women so fucking much, right? I love a woman, right? I don't care. I like a big girl. I like a little skinny petite girl. I love a woman from her toes to her goddamn hair. If she got a quick weave, I love that shit. If she got a lace front, I love that shit. If she got dreads, oh my God. You know, I love all of the things that a woman presents to me. She want to come out in baggy shorts and shit. She want to wear mismatched clothes. She want to wear a goddamn trench coat with motherfucking corduroys. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. She want to be a little thought. Oh, I like the thoughts. I like the thoughts. She want to be a good girl. I like the good girls too. She want to be intelligent. She want to be beautiful. She want to be a goddamn Instagram model. Shoot your shot, babe. You want me to help you with your promotion? You want to be a foot model? What you want to do? I love a motherfucking woman. You feel me? Has every relationship that I have been with women been positive? Absolutely not. Do I got low-key mommy issues? A little bit. Does that block how I feel towards the women's in the world? The women's? The women's? Oh. I will drink your bathwater in a heartbeat. I will support you no matter what. Okay, this is my Aquarian age of how I view women. So this is because I want to attract these types of relationships. However, if you like, well, niggas ain't shit, right? You no, for real, hood. Like, for real, let's talk. Let's have a sit down. Let's have a face to face. Niggas ain't shit, right? We can agree that niggas ain't shit. And I would like to like retort or argue, ma'am, the niggas that might not be shit, but it's some good niggas out here. It's some good men. It's some gods out here. It's some dudes that'll change your life. Okay? If this is what you magnetizing, I love the divine masculine. I love a nigga's knees, the back of his elbows, that crusty part of his elbow where it get all crusty and rusty because he looked like he been elbow dropping cement blocks all day. That part, I love that shit. Can you come to the grips of loving a man unconditionally? And not even one particular man, all men, not this dream animus projection that you have on this world of this perfect goddamn Tyrese mixed with Idris Elba that can dunk like LeBron James that you waiting for and meditating on and doing love spells for. Can you love the mediocre nigga with a medium-sized joint, kind of chubby? Can you love him with all your heart? See, y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. So just understand that relationships and situations come with the most unconditional love that you could ever imagine from an imaginative point of view. And it is not to say that I'm even going to love all of these types of women, but my mind has already come to the grips that whatever left or right turn that my wife take, I'm going to love it. Oh, babe, you want to strip? Fuck the herbs, fuck the yoni steaming. You straight to the club with it? Let's go. I got your overnight bag. Let's go. I'm going to hold the kids down. If you need anything, call me. I got you. Me and the boys will come up in there. We'll run up. We'll bum rush the strip club. Like, who messing with our mom? You understand? Whatever you want to do, babe, I'm supporting you. Okay. So as Mercury moves direct and kind of just understanding this as a follow up, because we dealing with Aquarius. We dealing with Aquarius. So we dealing with everything that could possibly happen. Imagine yourself being on the ground floor, in Aquarius being in a building of everything that you can ever imagine. So if you want to have a building titled The Ain't Shit Towers, Niggas Ain't Shit Towers, and have floor after floor of ain't shit niggas that live with their mama, niggas that just got out of jail, niggas that got to register for sex offenders, niggas that, cheat on their wife to be with you, floor after floor, office after office, level after level of ain't shit niggas. If that's what you choose to if that's the building that you want to go into. If that's because you can really create a reality of ain't shit niggas. You can create a whole reality of people who don't want to do you right. I mean, you can run into person after person after person until you understand that, okay, this is the building that I'm choosing to walk in. I'm going to decide to move into another building. And because of this building, I'm going to name it, I'm going to build it, and I'm going to design every floor, every room of how I want it to be, right? And this is a power. This is something that I'm trying to speak to and awaken people to on the daily. And because of this, we came up with the totem of the firefly. So the first thing you notice in the daytime is that you don't see the firefly. I never seen a firefly in the daytime. I can't remember seeing a firefly in the daytime. However, when the darkness comes, fireflies illuminate the light. And we know fireflies illuminate the light to get some buns. To get some buns. So that electromagnetic energy rises up because no matter what you experience in this life, your soulmate or your divine partner, you can't replicate that. You can make a lot of money. You can buy a girl off the internet. You can get a Russian bride. You can trick off your tax money to, you know, to your boyfriend and things of that nature. You know, he gonna flip it for you. He gonna flip it, dip it, you know. The thing about when they flip the money, they don't flip it. They either give you the money that you gave them back. They don't give. That ain't how flipping money work. And then after that, they don't got nothing. They off. I digress. The firefly. So when we see the firefly, that's an indication that it's the summer. That's the indication that times is changing. And another reason why I referenced the firefly is because at the 4-degree mark of Aquarius is where Mercury Stations Direct. If you look up the 4th degree mark of Aquarius, you'll see an analogy to fireflies. So that's that as well. So even more so, it just kind of ties into the energy, like a major shift. And a lot of people will say, astrologers and things of that nature will say it's positive. And I'm just like, how can you say that when people tend to always have a negative experience, or it's positive and negative, you know? So being able to understand how it could be actually positive if you take the control or power over your world. It's definitely negative if you don't understand the esoterics of the internal thing, because a firefly is not getting its light from no external source. Ain't no light shining down on the firefly for it to light up. That light comes from within. And I gotta do this. Y'all gonna be mad at me, but I have to do this for the whole entire culture, for the past, present, and the future. Now we could all sing this in unison, or I can sing it by myself. I really don't care. But you know this song, I know this song, so let's sing this song. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. See, if that's not the realest shit in the world, I don't know what is. Because within us, there is an inner light that we can let shine, that we can build up, that we could use as a actual way to be noticed, to be seen, or to attract a mate. This little light, you need to let it shine. And your light is not found in doing things that you don't want to do. Your light is found in passion. So you got to watch that meditation. I mean, shit, every damn video. It's a lead up to these actual energies. And I don't know, we're leading up to the firefly and things of that nature. It'll just reveal itself. And then it'll just make sense. Allowing your passions to guide you. And when you let your passions guide you from meditation, from doing the work, from doing the purging, right? The purging, the water, the fasting, the letting go, tapping into something deeper than your impulses, than your regular, normal, mundane shit, that leads to self-illumination. Self-illumination is saying that I got the light within me. See, I was praying to this goddamn sun, thinking that this sun was the resource for my energy, for my heat, for my sustenance, when actually it is me that is the sun. It is my light that is the sun. It is me that can actually free myself through self-illumination, through following my passion. And if you like, well, I'm single. I don't have nobody, hood mystic. What you mean you don't have nobody? You actually do have a body. You got your body. And before I love my wife, I love myself. Okay? A lot of times. But that's a whole nother subject. But more or less, they always say, like, if you don't know how to love yourself, if you don't know how to touch yourself, if you don't know how to feel comfortable within yourself, how could you ever be comfortable with another person? Because once you satisfy yourself in a way then all you want to do is satisfy your partner because that person is satisfied. And hopefully your partner knows how to satisfy themselves, and all they want to do is satisfy you. See, this is true passion. This is true guidance, to be guided by the soul. To be unison with somebody and to live a life, to direct and move and operate accordingly based upon spirituality is a whole nother level of freedom that you don't need nobody to be passionate for. You don't need nobody to awaken your soul. It helps. So shout out to all the couples that's watching this video on the live together. You know, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I respect and commend all of the couples out there, because that's the hottest shit going. You tell me some hotter shit than, you know, love. Be like, money. Okay. Money is cool, but that love is a powerful drug. What Rick James say? Oh, he ain't say that. He ain't say that. He said something else. So, you know, we're going to finish this conversation with Saad Dalasa. I just call it Saddam Hussein. So if y'all got any objections to calling this star Saddam Hussein, the luckiest of the luckies, please let me know in the chat, and I'll think about it, you know. But for now, since I can't pronounce what is Sadal Usud, I'm gonna just call it Saddam Hussein, because everybody knows Saddam Hussein, and you ain't gonna forget Saddam Hussein. And then we gonna flip the energy. We ain't gonna say Saddam Hussein is a leader in Baghdad. We gonna call it the luckiest of the lucky stars. So Mercury is actually conjunct Saddam Hussein, the luckiest of the luckiest stars. And this is one of the most important Aquarian stars. If you look at it, I don't know if you can see it clearly on the video, but there's a picture of Aquarius and where it's stationed in direct today. And if you look at Aquarius, like it's AQR and then like a beast, like gamma little symbol in front of it, that's representing the star that is in the constellation of Aquarius, called Saddam Hussein. And is universally recognized as a sign of good fortune. I don't know what happened between Saddam Hussein where he didn't tap into this star and save himself from the Americans. However, they say that you shouldn't abuse. So maybe he had a good fortune and he abused it, right? And so people be like, all right, Hood Mystic, what are you talking about? So the prescription with this is that this star is very, very lucky. It's necessary that you build, marry, make new friends, and travel. Why does this resonate with the world that we living in? You could take a whole flight to Greece right now for $20. Niggas catching flights for, I got 5 on the tank. What's good? I got 5 on the tank. Take me to Florida. Coronavirus got these goddamn airline companies like crackheads. Like, I take whatever you got. I got $2. Can I hop on? So that's no coincidence when you look at Mercury. So if it's a point of like, damn, I always wanted to go somewhere. My guy, my sis, it costs $20 for you to hop on a plane right now. You just got your taxes. You got, the year just started. You got like 40 hours of PTO, and you got like 5 vacation days because you done. How did you have 14 vacation? We got to talk to you real quick. You had 14 vacation days at the beginning of the year. Here it is, March. Your ass got 5 vacation days left. How do that work? You got 9 more months of the year left. How is you gonna function with 5? See, you got to start working your vacation days out. Stop. Once you get them, just use them and shit. You feel me? Like, relax. So, because now when the flights is cheap, you done used all your vacation days. So understand that now you can travel. You can go where you need to go for the low. They got the cool little coronavirus mask now. You feel what I'm saying? You could get the goddamn Sub-Zero. You could get any edition of Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero mask. You could get the old school Sub-Zero mask. Now you can even get the new school one, the PS4 version. You understand what I'm saying? You can hit this shit with different varieties. Take your ass to goddamn Acapulco. Hey, pilot, I got five. What you do? Well, shit. All right, I got a parachute. I throw you 10. Let me just hop out when y'all over Acapulco. I know you going to Brazil. I just hop out in my parachute. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, it's easy to travel. So that's an indication of Mercury conjunct Saddam Hussein. Another thing is that what I said, like it's good fortune. It's something that it could happen. You got a lot of power. However, when you abuse that power, you abused your position, you stole money from people, you didn't give people that proper credit, then you gonna have those particular issues that come up. An example in the news is Meg Thee Stallion. And see where people might say, all right, the dude who gave her the contract abused her power and abused his power and had her sign into a faulty deal. I think it's the other way around. I think she abused her power of having support and then trying to use her support of the hotties, the hot girls, and things of that nature to get her out of a contract. However, do you think that Meg Thee Stallion was the first person to sign a faulty contract? However, is there a way of dealing with contracts behind closed doors without them being public? So she's using her power of influence, and I think it's going to turn around and bite her in the butt. So that's just that's a personal opinion. So you can take that or whatever the case may be. But however, when it comes to people abusing a position, taking over, not giving people the proper credit and things of that nature, it's going to come back full circle on your ass. An interesting thing about this conjunction, Mercury conjunct Saddam Hussein, Justin Bieber carries that same conjunction in his natal chart. So that's very interesting because I hear he likes to steal your favorite astrologer's music and interpolate it into his own shit and make hits and not pay your favorite astrologer money. But so forth, blah blah blah, whatever, whatever. But the energy is shifting and changing to where if you stole from somebody, that person is coming back like, give me my money. Give me my money. Okay. Give me my money. Cash. Okay. Another thing, because we still dealing with the 11th house, we still dealing with relationship issues and the things that come to the surface. So abuse, misconduct from people that you never thought would be abusive, that's going to come to light during as Mercury go direct. So we're not talking about like, lilies in the field here. We're not talking about the culmination of spring here. We're talking about a direction moving towards awareness. Now, awareness is I see the good and I see the bad. Being an idiot is hoping to see everything to be good. Obviously, when you see the bad, that's a good thing. You can do something about it. All right. So overall, if you're able to see stuff about it, correct the things that you see the darkness, take responsibility for your life. Don't be mad at people. That could represent a lot of good fortune for you. And it's been a tough winter for some people. However, it's been a good winter for some people. So if you've been experiencing good blessings, good tidings, learn to give, learn to recycle that energy so that energy continues for you. That's another age of Aquarius, or that's another understanding of Aquarius anyway. So, do your best out here in these streets. What's the number to call in? I forgot. Oh yeah, now I remember. 385-799-9560. Tap in with the Hood Mystic one time. Yeah, for sure. Was it sounding cool now? Sometimes easier ain't the best thing to do. I wouldn't the easiest shit is not the best thing to do. It's easy to cook all your food in the microwave. That's not the best thing to do. It's easier to drive everywhere. That's not the best thing to do. Sometimes you need to walk. Sometimes you need to exercise. Sometimes you need to put effort. Sometimes you need to talk. Sometimes you need to communicate. Sometimes you need to cry. Sometimes you need to be told about yourself. Your butt stink. Sometimes you need to know that your butt stink. And when you by yourself, you don't got nobody to tell you that your ass stink. And sometimes you be like, well, I could tell myself my ass stink. Well, sometimes you can't, because there's a such thing as nose blindness, where you can't smell yourself. And if you can't smell yourself, how you know you stink sometimes if your nose is blind? That's when a partner comes. Like, I think that partners are something that we want versus something that we attract. And if we want a partner, if we decide to love, then we can do that. And if we don't want to do that, we want to be loved, that's when shit get tricky. And there's so many grown ass, adult ass people who still want to be loved. And it's like you can't do that. You can't hope or force or coerce a person to be loved. All you can do is love them. And if they don't want to love you back, that's their choice. And that's cool. But I'm not loving for the return. I'm loving for the give. Because that's the best way. You can give so much love and never even expect none in return. You're not waiting. You're just constantly moving forward. 385-799-9560. We tapped in. Don't be scared. If you called in before, call in again. If you never called in, be a first time caller. Let yourself be known. I'm always in the chat. I always be listening to you. I ain't never decided to call, but something said call in, so I'm calling in. This is what I got to say. Mystic, you need to watch your language, brother. Your language. Why you gotta talk like that? Are you okay? Did I piss people off today? Because if I did, I'm sorry. Nah, not really. Not really. Sometimes you gotta be pissed off to grow. If a person can't, like, something like the best times when I'm pissed off, I realize, like, damn, I still got more growing to do. I thought I was done. Get me getting angry over some weird nigga on YouTube. He said, hood wilding this morning. Was I was wilding? I be feeling like sometimes you gotta put energy into this shit, or else you'll miss the point. So I can get a little theatrical and dramatic. Uh-oh, somebody tapped in. Let's see, what's the dilly, yo? Let me cut my mic on.
Welcome. This service is provided by freeconferencecall.com. There is one other participant in the conference. Please announce yourself.
657, you tapped in.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hold on 1 second. Let me turn this down.
Yeah,
Give me a second. Who might I be speaking with?
Hello, peace and power. This is Ra, Shaman.
What's up, Ra?
And how are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
How's your sick family doing on this beautiful Tuesday? Yep. All right. I basically called in because I want to let people know that Hood Mystic and Mama Mystic, they are awesome. And I bought a soapstone like bowl, like mortar and pestle,
Are you
and
talking on like
it
a
was
Bluetooth right now?
fudge. Yes.
It's hard to hear
Is
you.
it messed up?
It's kind of hard. Like I can hear you, but it's not as clear as I feel like you could be.
Damn, man, I keep messing up with these microphones. I can't figure this shit out. I
But
just
you good though. You good though.
uh,
Just try to speak a little bit more clear because it's not as clear as you would like it to be. I just want to hear what you got to say, basically.
for real. Thank you.
Hmm.
Okay, I just wanted people to know some cool shit about you guys because I thought it was like real admirable and it's really rare to find in this world, like in a business sense. Like basically what happened is I bought this mortar and pestle
Hmm.
and like, well, you already know what happened. I'm just telling the fam,
Hmm.
like I just like I want to shout out for real. Like, but I bought this mortar and pestle, and it was $10, and then the shipping was $10, so $20 all together. And then I get the box, fam, and the shit says that $17 was paid for the postage. So
Hmm.
they got like $3 out of that shit. And they sent it to me, and it was like this beautiful bowl. I kind of want to like make a video of it because
Hmm.
it's like a really nice quality bowl.
Hmm.
And like I just wanted to like I don't know let people know that I don't know I just thought that was cool. That was like real admirable. People don't do that shit anymore. Everything is like everybody wants the most for the least, and I just thought that was real different, like and cool. Just like
Hmm.
we appreciate that.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
speak in reference to Mama Mystic, her whole goal is to get the things that people need that will help them and then bringing that to the surface. So, if it comes to a point of where like we've taken a loss, like shit, we happy we made the goddamn $3. Like it's been some orders that, some chairs that we made, we bought all the supplies and sent it all off and we've lost money, but I think overall, when I think about my wife's work, how many babies she brought into this world, how many women that she's allowed to bring peace to their wombs and just whatever, you know what I'm saying? All of her products hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They hit. And it's never about like, oh, we should profitize this because she really has a gift that she really wants to share. Now, shipping costs and things of that nature, these are things that exist in the world, but you showed out. You gave us an extra donation, and we appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that we're working to make more money doing it, but we're not going to raise our prices or have a negative taste in anybody's mouth when we do business. We're going to do business the right way. And then beyond that, we're going to figure out ways on the back end to reduce the products even more so. So that's where we're headed to. So, thank you for sharing that experience, Ra. What else has been going on?
Yeah. So you guys are pure. You guys are like real deal. And so my next question, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm done really,
Mm-hmm.
um, is like so this community.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were like I don't know what you're talking about, and I was kind of glad because I sent this video and I wasn't really happy with it. So I'm glad I get to start over. I'm gonna wait till after the 30th to kind of bring that up, but I want to plant the seed now
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, you know, taking the shit off the internet. I heard some shit from Chief Yuya literally the other day, and it was weird because it was after I had mentioned it the first time on some other uh, some other day that I had called in to your show,
Mm-hmm.
and it was after the fact. And Chief Yuya was like, find your tribe, find your people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you have land?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who has what skill? And put that together with,
Mm-hmm.
like, there's strength in numbers
Mm-hmm.
and like-minded people together. All that jazz. So, like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that it's a personal thing. And once that personal thing becomes a overflowing well of energy, you're able to contribute to other people. I think when it comes to community, if there isn't a community already established and you thinking like I want to start a community, then that takes a lot of personal responsibility and personal resources. And this is not to be taken lightly because a lot of communities start and then a lot of communities fall. I think I have a personal goal of building a community, but I'm gonna build it with resources and my personal resources, and then whoever decides to partner with me that can match me in that space. I'm not hoping or wishing or hoping that people get their shit together. I'm more or less putting that energy on myself and really applying myself daily. I'm really focusing on the ultimate of ultimates of realities, which is a community. And that's me moving into my Aquarian energy. Do I know how everything is
Mm-hmm.
going to come into manifestation?
I'll say.
No. But do I know that it is going to come in manifestation because I'm willing it into existence? Absolutely. And it just takes patience from this point. So if you have a goal, if you have dreams of community and you don't know where that community is at, then it's your responsibility to start it, find like minds, build relationships with like minds, and show up. When you have a network, it's not your network's responsibility to call you, it's your responsibility to call the network and making sure like, you're on it, and if your personal responsibility is toward your network and building it and sustaining it, then you will, update those relationships, check up with those people, have a more or less scheduled time of reaching out to people, building with people, and not being afraid of people that you respect, people that you need to help, people that can help you, having mentors. All of this stuff seems strenuous and stressful. However, if you do it, you will understand how vital and how important it is for overall success. We can't do everything by ourselves, of course, but we just need to make sure through relationships and through building them that we actually have that actual network. So it's not an easy thing, it's not an overnight thing, but if you have the intention and you start small and you build, it's nothing.
Shay, Shay. I hear you. I hear you. So then let me, I want to add something to that.
Mm-hmm.
What you said was beautiful. Like, because, like, everything you said, like, that's what it is for most people who are talking about this concept. You know what I mean? So, like, to put a different,
Mm-hmm.
like, spin on it, like some innovation, like, instead of it all falling on, like, some leader's shoulders
Mm-hmm.
to organize everything and get
Mm-hmm.
everything together, and, like, instead of, like, that, because that's a lot of pressure. You're right. Not one
Mm-hmm.
man can do that shit. Or they,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just really stressful. I mean, it could really kill you for real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so instead of that, the innovation is like, there's a lot of people who who probably want that same thing. In fact, I know it. I'm positive that there are people out
Mm-hmm.
there who are just as willing to put in the effort, the
Mm-hmm.
time, whatever resources they have to offer, whatever skills they have to offer. There are people out there, and it's like all like people like you and maybe me too. Got to
Mm-hmm.
do is like just like make the announcement, sound the call,
Mm-hmm.
blow the trumpet, like, hey, who would be interested in this? And it's not with the idea of like, let's build this now. This has to be now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it's more along the lines of like, hey, like, let me plant these seeds,
Mm-hmm.
and whoever is interested in partaking in the fruit of these seeds, who is down to water them
Mm-hmm.
too with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And just like go from there. Because I guarantee there are people out there, such as myself,
Mm-hmm.
who would be down as fuck to go like ride or die, balls to the wall, like let's do this shit, let's get it done, like
Mm-hmm.
just because that's what they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
period.
It's easier when there's an infrastructure in place. So that's more or less like the channels are in place, some idea of formulation, and a lot of times that could be true, but then the inverse of that could easily be untrue as well. So in the reasonable, rational world, a lot of people might view communal living as an escape from a negative situation, but generally we don't want to escape from negative situations. We want to escape or, transmogrify our inner situation and free ourselves from within and then make the decision. But when the infrastructure is in place, it's easier to make a decision. Okay, y'all doing this, or y'all doing that, or y'all here, and have a central location. I mean, this isn't something that is like, an emotional thing. It has to have some logic. It has to have some background checks. It has to have some awareness. Like, a lot of times we can be so gung ho on things, and that was the problem. I talk to a lot of people all the time, and they say, I get an idea and I'm so passionate about it, but then 3 months later, I'm just, it's just something that I'm no longer interested in. Because if it's based upon passion and not logistics and not infrastructure, then it's easy to forget. So I don't think what you're saying is wrong. All I'm saying is that in the meantime of between time of setting those seeds, that time spent could be time spent in building infrastructure. My idea would be if you build it, they would come. So even if it's not like one person, maybe two people that's the main creators of the community based upon they bought the land or something to that effect. Because, even if you have a pool of people who say like, all right, we're going to all pool in and buy the land, that's another thing. But more or less having an infrastructure or a goal of what's going to happen and then absolutely building that trust. And another reason why I say starting it and having that infrastructure is because if you have the infrastructure, if you have the paperwork, if you have the logistics, what that does is that builds trust. Oh, this person is not playing. This person is serious. Let me see what they're talking about, as opposed to like, all right, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. Then it's kind of like, all right, if this doesn't work out the way that I want it to work out, then I'm gonna bounce on you. So I just would want to, like, when I'm talking about a community, I don't want to build a community that's like fly by night, emotional thing. I want to be a place where you can come to and you be like, all right,
I want a solid foundation.
I'm just here.
Rock
You know what I'm
solid.
saying? I'm here and I just
Yeah.
need a place to kind of be spiritual or whatever the case may be, or find a community. It's already here. It's already laid out for you. I don't want to tax a person's energy. Help me create this, or it's kind of like having a boyfriend or something and be like, you do you want a dude that's a fixer upper, or do you want a man that has his shit together? Because a fixer upper ain't no guarantee that he's actually gonna fix himself up. He might be the same dude that's never gonna change. However, if you meet a person that has his shit together, then this is the person that you can be with and you can build upon, because he's built himself up. And he's built himself up. So I'm just more speaking from a masculine point of view, and you speaking from a feminine point of view. However, these things should work in tandem. There needs to be an emotional component and there needs to be a physical logistical component, and these things can work in tandem. Does that make sense to you? Or
It does make sense.
mm-hmm.
But little do you know, I got receipts that I've been working on this very idea for the past year and a half.
Right.
So I hear what you're saying, and I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think it just depends on like who has receipts,
Right.
who's fly by night, and who can prove that they've been working on the shit already.
I 100% agree with you. I agree with you on that. That's what I'm saying too. Who got the receipts? Who's putting in the work? And if we want it, then we able to work towards it. And then if you able to work towards it, then you able to discern or differentiate who's going to actually support you in realizing this goal. But if you have a goal and you have a real goal that's kind of materialized or at least written down on paper, then that's something that people can buy into. That's something that people can support. So if it's something that's interesting to you and something that you want to continue to build on, we just have to continue the conversation, and build those relationships and build that network. Because another component is starting relationships, sustaining those relationships, and growing those relationships. Because without that, how are you going to have a successful community?
Mm-hmm. Ashe. That part.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And all I'm going to say is whoever's listening to this, this is the sound of the first alarm. Personally, everybody knows Hood Mystic got his email up in his information, and anyone who's interested in the conversation that just transpired just now, feel free to hit me up as well, because my information is also in my description shit as well. And so this is the first feed, I'm gonna
When you
I'm
get
gonna
off the
email
phone, yeah, when you get off the phone, Ra, leave your email in the chat as well.
Thank you.
No
I
problem.
will. Thank you.
And I'll
Beautiful.
be
Have a
waiting for
wonderful
your
day, man.
email. You too. I'm gonna give you my phone number too when you email me.
Hell yeah. Right on, right on.
All right, Ra.
Awesome. Have a beautiful day, family.
Enjoy
For
that
real.
Cali. Enjoy that Cali weather for me. Breathe some air. Take a real deep breath and say, "This deep breath is for Hood Mystic." All right. You feel me? You feel me? I felt that. I felt that. I felt that Cali. I smelled a little ocean, a little smog, I felt the whole variety of
Right.
different flavors. I saw some fish, Come on now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, shit.
Ashe.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to you later. Ashe.
All right, Ra. Have a great day. Peace. 561, you tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm very good.
Good to
Thank
hear
you. I
from
like
you.
your show today.
Thank you.
The last caller, this is reminding me of it was a show you did last year, and it was on blue magic. And so you were making the point of when you want things to flow to you, how are you as an individual creating the infrastructure to let resources flow to you?
Right.
And so the physical setting up, I found that really helpful, and I did that. And later in the year, somebody was saying something along the lines of, I was expecting some kind of miracle, or like something really disparaging. I said, well, no, I've actually set up an office, I've set up a business, and pointed out all of those things and said, it's not really an accident this is happening.
Right.
That was really helpful. But I like the point of the conversation this morning. When you're saying choose the building that you want to go into, in terms of choose your relationships and choose what the people will look like. I've just recently had this experience where I would not have necessarily called the person a fixer-upper. I thought perhaps he was at a different point in life. But this is a person. Also, it is very true, all of the things you're saying, that if you do not love yourself and you do not know how to be satisfied with yourself, that you cannot love another person. And this all came to fruition in a really terrible, distasteful way. I'll just leave it there. But the 11th house, things coming to light, it worked like that. So while at the beginning, the person introduced himself in a certain way. And then when I came to see that those elements were not present in his life, and this was not something that I wanted, and then there were other bad things happening too. So I stopped it. And what I'd like to do is save some time next time. And I'm wondering then, specifically, when you are designing a different building,
right?
How should I do that?
So it's a variety of different things that exist in the world that you could possibly love. And there's a good book called Moonwalking with Einstein, and it teaches us how to build things in our mind, a way of remembering things. And so sometimes when I want to remember stuff, I'll put things in my house because I know. So in our mind, I know where my house is at. I know everything where my house is at, off memory. I know where my couches is at. I don't have to think about it. I just know where it's at. But say, for instance, I put kitty litter on the couch and I put the kitty litter really, really big on the couch, then that memory is in my head. So when I'm at the store, I'm like, what did I come to the goddamn store for? Oh, kitty litter, right? It's just it's something that I just use without thinking. So I say all of that to say, in our mind, we can begin to build new houses, new homes. And say, for instance, you're going to build a building. What does the lobby look like and the type of person that you want to have? And then different variations of these types of things, because all of it is like you're going to have varieties of energy that come into your life. And if you just have one fixed point of like, I only want this type of energy in my life, then you got a one level building, and that's fine. But however, Aquarian age is like a high rise. So generally when you go into an office building, might be a law firm on one floor, a nurse's place on one floor, accounting firm on another floor, just different offices that you have the ability to create. So what it seems as though is like you have this big building and it has like those big white drapes over it. You understand what I'm saying? It's just under construction. The foreman's coming around with their paperworks and you know what I'm saying? The architect is like, all right, what are we supposed to do? Like, we're waiting on Rebecca to give us some details because we don't know. We got this big ass building. It's empty. We don't even. All right. Well, we got the framework. We'll just wait on Rebecca to give us a call. And when she give us a call, I'll bring the goddamn bulldozers and the cranes and I'll bring my men and we'll start getting to work. But this is something that you have to begin to do as a imaginative exercise of designing your high rise. All types of men, all types of experiences, all types of women, all types of businesses. What's in your office building? Is it an accounting firm? Do you have your lawyer in there? Do you have your, family? All of it, like, your whole life is in this office building and it's to be created. But if you don't know that you're the master architect, then the goddamn foreman and everybody is just sitting out there like, all right, guys, take 5. We're still waiting. Early lunch. I'll text her when she calls back. So you got to tap into that creative principle and you have to be somewhat of a fearless and, childlike when it comes to, I'm going to create something and be happy about what you're creating, as opposed to just knowing how things are going to be. And part of these relationship things are for you to clear out that energy. So hopefully you're able to clear out the past and really just focus in on the future as Mercury goes direct. So Mercury retrograde is relationship type of shadow stuff and mind games, and it could be a topsy-turvy whirlwind. But as it goes direct, it's like, what the fuck just happened? So you could actually view it as a form of like a phantom or like an illusionary experience. Like, that really didn't exist, did it? Like, nah, it didn't. Like, okay, that was scary. Okay, so now, like, you ever have like a scary nightmare and it almost seems like real, but then you realize like, oh, it was just a dream. So now that dream is over or nightmare is over, we are in the dream phase. But you just have to understand that we're in the dream phase and it's time to create. Hopefully that helps. It's because it's not easy to decide like, I'm going to create my whole life from the ground up. And me personally, I just got like a bunch of like women that I, like like I just love, and just not love in a physical sense, but love in an esoteric sense, and men and animals and children and just like people, communication. That's my building. I have a communication building. I'm just going to different floors talking to people. So that's just me, but
I have this I have Venus in Aquarius, and the Aquarius of 0 degrees. And so I don't know if this contributes to it. But
right.
When I think of something, most people will think of something very fixed. I don't. I think of all the different ways that element, how it feels, how it can look.
That's a high rise. That's why you resonate with this, because that's a high rise. A high rise, just think about it. A high rise building is not one thing. but it's still like a thing. Like you can't really pinpoint, or it could be anything, you know? It could be a record company, it could be a media corporation, it could be goddamn CNN, you know, it could be anything. And you have this ability, but it starts with love, and the love of creation, a multitude of very, very, very different things. It's a community. So if we had a community and we said all we're going to build in this community is a church, it wouldn't, your community would suffer. Obviously, you need different things in your community. You need a pharmacy, you need a doctor, you need a school, you need a grocery store, you need so forth and so on. So 11th house is community, Aquarius is community, Venus is I love the community, meaning that I cannot just love the church. I just can't love, is like you being a mayor or an architect. An architect has to worry about so many different things. Like if I put the toilets up against the wall, how are we gonna run plumbing up against, like, it's so many different things. So Venus on the cusp of Aquarius means you have to love the process from the ground up, right? And know that what you're creating is multicultural, vast. You know, it's like you would be an architect, you would be a person that designs skyscrapers in a particular life, you know. So if you're able to really see the totality of what you love and not the subjective nature, oh, I really like this aspect, that's not speaking to the Venus in you. Like, I love all of this shit. I love the fact, the plumbing, I like the electricity, I like the plaster, I like hiring the crew. And then after I build it, I like to just walk through my building and make sure everything is on point, you know. I'm a master inspector too, you know, but you take your talents and you outsource them on something outside of you. And that's where you really shine your light, right? And I think I'm speaking to you because I know that you're able to do it.
Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
I realize this now as, from my aspect, I think I'm being understanding, and it's not working. It does not express in my life this way. Mm-hmm. So when I think about people being in different points of their life, who I should let in versus where that line is between being understanding and being a support to somebody who needs it versus it's time for them to just do it themselves.
Right.
I'm curious your thoughts on that line.
So it ties back into Venus in Aquarius, where you take your love and you subjectify it into one thing. And when you do that, you're not speaking to your personal energy. So, and I always tell you, like, love comes from success. Love comes from the 10th house. You know, that's where your love is found. But it's like one of those things where maybe you don't, I wouldn't say you don't believe me, but it's not really, it's a seed that's planted and it hasn't fully blossomed into a tree. So with that being said, Venus in Aquarius is the 11th house, but it's cusp. So it's 10th and 11th. So love is somewhat 10th house and somewhat 11th house. Love is found in somebody doing your purpose and your path. However, if you haven't discovered your purpose or your path, it's going to be hard to find love. So when you actually do find love and you're not really focusing on the 10th and 11th house, like, you're supposed to build communities, you're supposed to build worlds, you're supposed to build a whole skyscraper where thousands of people come into work every day, right? So like, you're responsible for this. And if you don't do it, don't expect spirit or don't expect your guides to give you the love of your life. And I don't want to be rude or crass about it, but it's just kind of like, to whom much is given, much is required. And you speak with such an eloquence, you speak with such a royal sense, and you've actually been seeing things and you know things. So that energy has to be expressed in the 11th house, meaning that your pupils are sitting there like, okay, teach us, show us, guide us. But these are things that have to first be internalized. And when they're internalized, they should be internalized with all superiority and royalty and divinity, with no obstructions of, you know, maybe I can't do it, maybe I'm not good enough. Like when it comes to life, because like to build a skyscraper, there has to be a lot of confidence. And confidence is something that comes within. It's not something that you could actually get from your relationships. Your relationships come once you like I don't have a real live example other than like Oprah. Is not like she's 10th and 11th house, right? She's 10th and 11th house. She epitomizes Venus cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius. And I'm not saying that's her placement, but if you just want to understand what Venus, she loves her career, right? And she loves her supporters, right? Does she love Stedman so much? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What if she said, you know what, y'all? Stedman put it on me last night. I'm a step back from this Oprah Winfrey network. All of these people that need me for guidance and support, I'm gonna just go chill and be laid up, be somebody baby mama, you know. Imagine Oprah. Imagine Oprah just slumming through the streets of Pittsburgh like, you look like you got a lot of potential. Let's date. Where does that how does that ever come into focus? Like, it never does. It's just a passion. It's more like a psychosis even. It's like, I'm so focused on my dreams and desires right now, there's nothing that a man could even give me, right? Unless he's trying to help me get to this point, or unless he's trying to support me and do his set, and he's trying to do his Stedman thing, you know. So in another way, 10th house and 11th house, meaning that you have to choose. You have to choose your mate, right? So that's another thing that's another level of confidence, another level of love, of just like, I choose you. You know, but yeah. And if you do say like, I choose you, then that's like you have a more responsibility to kind of nurture that relationship, as opposed to kind of wanting or expecting things. But we talked about this the other day, you know, foreign dudes, like a guy like Spain or Israel and things like that, that could be another area of the 11th house and the 10th house, you know. So it's like travel, you know, things of that nature. Because even so, Mercury is conjunct the star that we talked about, Sadao Usad, meaning the luckiest of the lucky, meaning that your resonance of luck is a little bit different, but your Venus is conjunct that fixed star, I'm sorry. So when it comes to projects and things that you love, they carry a little bit of a lucky resonance. So if Venus is conjunct this fixed star, an example would be, I would ask you a question like, so in your past, do you feel like you were in doors that you necessarily shouldn't have been into? Like, have doors opened up for you that you were like, well, that was kind of lucky. That was kind of fortunate.
All the time.
Right. So this is your business too, right? This is your passion or your purpose is lucky too. So when I speak, I'm speaking more or less into the realm of success, and be confident and do it because you can, you know, as opposed to, you know, maybe you need to work on it a little bit more. Maybe you just need to study, prepare, and things of that nature. No, you already there. So understanding that you're already there, understanding that you're already fortunate, understanding that you need to kind of really build and work on your confidence is an inner thing more than it's an external thing. So.
That is really funny, and I will think about the Stedman thing constantly.
Yeah, think about it. Think about if Oprah just said, you know what? I'm only fucking with fixer-uppers. You know, like right now, I'm just about to just...
It's not funny.
Imagine you on Tinder. Well, I can imagine it. I'm on Tinder and I just see Oprah's ass. Like, thumbs up, like green check mark. I like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would never see that. It's a certain desire for success more than it is a desire for love, because love can actually be something that is easy. Like, love is something that's easy once you like international, world renowned, and able to travel and be like, all right, I'm about to go see Bay in Spain, because America, like, it'd be different with like dudes in Israel, dudes in like all over the country, all over the world. Like, you got to open yourself up to things like that, as opposed to just kind of thinking of yourself as like really local. Your energy is international already, and it's something that you need to tap into. Is like being known throughout the planet, and you already known throughout the planet, but realizing that and then cultivating it and bringing it to the surface, having your network and having your team in place. Like, are you networking? Powerful things, powerful things.
Just, this is to validate for anybody listening, when you were saying about foreign partners, very few of my boyfriends have been American. Yeah, the mentalities don't work out.
This is something that I know. Like, I can see your chart and be like, where's the Spanish dudes at? Where's the princes from Saudi Arabia type of deal? Like, real talk. So it's like, you have to understand that that's your energy, and you more or less like a princess more than you like a human. So you got to kind of embody that princess mentality, because the princess is everything that the queen was, but the princess is able to create a different world, because she's going to be the queen one day. So because of this, she has more power than the queen. So it probably tie you into like Queen Elizabeth or the royal crown in some form. Like, I'm sure your family is related to them. Somewhere down the line, there's a close relationship to the Queen of England. So this is something that you try to not deal with, or try to hide from, or try to run from, or maybe you're not fully aware of. But when it comes to your life, you got to kind of be with it. You got to be up and at it and going and flowing. And, Aquarius is not sitting in one place.
This has been an incredible call, and thank you so much.
No problem. You already know how it is.
It was really helpful.
You know how it is, Rebecca. We talk many, many times, and all of the things resonate. And I told you, we never have an experience where this is the last time we talk. It's always until next time.
That makes me very happy.
Shout out to everybody who called in the tapped in portion. I just want to thank everybody who tuned in to the daily energy reading, understanding that Mercury is stationed direct, and now all things are go. Trying to travel, trying to make new friends, trying to get things popping. Like I said, you can throw 10 on the tank, your ass would be in Greece somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They got Uber planes, Uber pools, for the planes, because the plane rides are so cheap. So beyond that, I'll see you guys on the flip side. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning in. Share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. ColumbianExchange.com. Buy a t-shirt. GoodMystic.com. Schedule a reading. AlterCreations.com. Get you a Yoni's theme. Huh? What's AlterCreations.net. AlterCreations.net. Get you a Yoni's theme. Support Mama Mystic. But other than that, man, thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all guys on the flip side. Peace, 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 and more peace. See y'all tomorrow.